Soldier for Life is an Army program designed to connect with government, educational institutions, and employers. The goal is to help veterans and their families reintegrate into civilian society. Now, while the program has had success in connecting exiting soldiers and jobs, there is a recognition that more can and should be done. That led to a recent military transition summit at Oklahoma's Fort Sill. Rob McClendon has the story.
It was a packed house in Fort Sill's Snow Hall when Staff Sergeant Carlos Muniz took the floor.
I joined the Army in October of 2000 as a member of the Puerto Rican National Guard as a 14th Sierra, which is a Ranger crew member. Down the road, I transferred over to a 14 Hotel, which is early warning system operator.
Addressing military, government, and education leaders at the Soldier for Life Military Transition Summit, Muniz says he left the service only to re-enlist a year later.
Well, the hardest part, I think, is being away from the family. With the Guard, I did 2 deployments. I did a 8 months and I did a 15 months to Afghanistan. So being away from them is always hard. It seems that when you're gone, things start happening. You know, kids get sick, you got trouble with, in school. I decided to try my luck in the civilian world. As you can see, it didn't go too well for me. I got out of the Army and I was like, what did I do? I was not prepared to get out.
A problem not unusual for service members, but one the Soldier for Life program hopes to address both with the hiring event like the one here at Fort Sill and by encouraging employer-military partnerships like the United Association Veterans in Piping program.
This program has been explained to me as trying to drink from a fire hydrant. You just kind of put your head in there and get as much as you can and then back out and take a breath for a second.
This is an 18-week program delivered to active duty servicemen and women here on base that replaces the first year of a 5-year apprenticeship in sprinkler fitting.
We get a great deal out of this by getting the military people because of the discipline that they already have.
When they leave here, they have more tools than what they need to be successful. We train them in here on valve training, soldering, brazing, crane signaling, rigging, OSHA 30. We're finding the employer before they get there. So they're not getting training and then having to find employment like most schooling does. Here, we have employment for them. So we go out, we do the groundwork, find where they're going to be, the best contractors for them, the best areas to go back to.
And a similar partnership has been built with Ryder Trucks.
The guys that all finished 4 engine manufacturers, which is Cummins, Detroit, Navistar, and Mack Volvo. And then up here, we come up here and we're doing the hands-on portion. And these guys will actually get out and work in the shop with the guys in the shop, just like they would in a normal Ryder location. And when they get out of this program, then when they graduate from this program, they're going to go to a Ryder shop and actually go to work.
I have a little book about this thick of certifications now. I had my first paycheck from Ryder before I even collected my last paycheck from the Army. So, wow. I mean, there was never a break in pay at all. So, that's usually a huge stress factor when you're getting out of the military is, financially, am I going to be okay?
It's absolutely a perfect fit. In fact, the first group we have, 4 of the guys have already been promoted. That's how well they fit into the program so far. These guys already know what they're going to do. They already know where they're going to go. It takes all that stress. So when they come into Ryder, I mean, it's just, you can just come in and go to work, fully trained and ready to go.
The nonprofit Warriors for Wireless doesn't hire veterans directly, but does train them for a career with a sky-high limit.
The industry overall has an aging population of tower technicians and broadband technicians. We're training veterans to fill those roles going forward. There's a huge demand out there. We have over 1,000 openings around the country. So one of the things we always ask veterans is like, where do you want to live? And then we find a tower company in that area that needs an employee right now.
They were able to get me into the program, get me started, get me trained, get my certs, transitioned over from the military into the wireless industry. And now I have a job where I provide for my 2 kids without any hesitation, and very successful. Marine Corps teaches you leadership. They teach you take fear, put it behind you, and get the mission done. And in the wireless industry, that is something that you definitely have to be able to do. I mean, your office is on the ground, minus 300 feet in the air.
There's a lot of work going forward, and if we look at how many towers we have in the U.S., there's 30,000 towers in the United States. Of those, 27% are really aging and need to be replaced. On top of that, we know that with small cell technology and all these other things, the demand is expected to be 130,000 towers by 2030. That's a huge growth industry, and they're looking to hire veterans.
The state of Oklahoma is fortunate in that we've got an outstanding workforce and a great work ethic. The unfortunate thing is we simply don't have enough workforce.
Scott Smith is with Oklahoma Career Tech and sees veterans as a great opportunity to expand the number of employable Oklahomans.
We want them to have a great career, and that's what Career Tech's focus is to help get folks skilled and get them hooked up with the right companies. But also, we're trying to find creative ways to reach into pipelines of outstanding workers to help them to leverage the training that we offer, but also leverage the jobs that we have in the great state of Oklahoma.
Pairing industry, education, and government with veterans who often don't know their own worth.
So like we say, you don't have a career ladder, you have a career cargo net. Did you ever climb the cargo net? Yeah. You don't climb straight up, right? You got to go over, you got to move it up and get your best foothold.
Better understand that challenge, I spoke with Oklahoma's Secretary of Veteran Affairs, retired Major General Miles Deering. How important is it to bring industry, military, education all together in an event like this?
Well, it's tremendously important because it enables us to create a collaborative effort in helping these young soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines transition from the military life to the civilian life.
What type of asset are veterans to just Oklahoma's economy?
They're a tremendous asset to our economy and to the state of Oklahoma. I mean, these young men and women bring the values that they've lived and they practiced in the military to the community, and those kind of values are what we value most as a society.
How can the Department of Veterans Affairs, how can it help Oklahoma veterans?
Well, I think we can help in the transition and the linkage. And once that soldier leaves military duty, active duty, and goes to his home station, what helps him make that link up? And I think that we as the State Department of Veterans Affairs can help him with that link up. In other words, where he leaves the active duty and where he enters a civilian life, we still need to have that continuity of care. We need to ensure there's a link there that ensures that his future is assured as well.
What is that first? What's the first step that needs to happen then when someone leaves the military?
Well, the first step is that person needs to make contact with in my opinion, he needs to make contact with the State Department of Veterans Affairs. This ensures that if he wants to go to college or he wants to go to Career Tech or she wants to go to college or Career Tech, that they understand the resources that are available in the state. If they want to apply for their claims and benefits with the VA, we can help them do that. If they're seeking employment, we can help them do that as well.
I'm going to use all the tools the Army has to offer to get ready to be a successful civilian once I transition out.
And for Sergeant Muniz, seeing all these opportunities and taking the reins on what he can accomplish now, he's much more confident about his eventual retirement.
I'm working on a bachelor's degree in sports psychology, so I know I'm going to be prepared when I leave the military. Plus, the military has a lot of great programs that's going to help you, prep for when you decide to hang those boots for good, and I'll be ready.